I don't like contracts. I don't want to make any more friction or barrier for them to give me money. We as owners need to make it so easy for people to pay us. And that's why when you look at all these credit cards now it's just like put it in front of a screen and you're done. Like they're making it so easy for people to pay.
How are you deciding on prices? What do you do about that?
A very easy, good rule of thumb is whatever you're charging them to mow, just double that. All of this, Jacob, is like do, test, review. Do, test, review. All right. So what can I help with today?
Well, I think one of my main things that I'm focusing on going into the next season is going to be tracking data. So trying to really get numbers for marketing materials and maybe identify some things that work, some things that don't work, and then just improve throughout the year and into the next year. So I need to find like the starting point and see if y'all have any strategies for that, like where to start, how to track, what to track. What y'all are doing over there.
Yeah. So this is one of the biggest key things of like somebody who's just kind of willy-nilly going and someone who's like really intentional. And so I applaud you for thinking about this and really wanting to get the data because that's what matters. That's how you make decisions in business is by data. And so that's really good. Okay, so first off, everything starts from understanding where the customer is coming from. So on your website, when people call in, fill out submission forms, are you tracking how they heard about you?
I have not this year done any of that. Just kind of let it come in as it goes. So I don't have numbers on that. I could probably backtrack and find a good amount and do some work digging and get a roundabout number.
Okay. Yeah, no worries at all. So to start, what I would say, like your homework probably in the next week, I would say is to go on your did you build your website or did you have someone else do
Yeah,
it?
I built it out of Squarespace.
Perfect. So in there, I'm sure you're asking their phone number, email, address, right?
Yeah.
So just add another one. You could either do it as a text input or a drop down. I like to do the drop down because you'll get some weird stuff letting people put whatever they want into it. But yeah, just truck, yard
Yeah.
sign, all that good stuff.
I put that in there kind of as a foresight, but I didn't really use it. So I do
Okay.
have a drop down. I think it's like truck, Google, door hanger, and like word of mouth or something or Facebook.
So which CRM are you using?
I'm on Yardbook right now.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't used Yardbook in many years, probably 4 or 5. But in there somewhere, you should hopefully be able to have like a field where you can put like data, right?
Yeah.
Or even if it's just like, well, ideally you would want to be able to pull a report. So like in Copilot, they call it custom fields.
Okay.
In Service Autopilot, I don't know where it is in Service Autopilot. It's been a minute, but there should be an area somewhere in Yardbook that you can add data of how they heard about you.
Right.
The goal would be, and maybe you need to reach out to Yardbook or people that are using Yardbook and say, hey,
Yeah.
where should I put how they heard about us? So that way, when the time comes and I want to pull my data, which is
Yeah. I mean,
really easy.
I really want to switch over to Copilot or something similar. I know you use it, so I think it'd be helpful to switch over and have some help from you building it out.
Yeah, super helpful.
So,
And dude, I know that like the back of my hand. So like
yeah,
but it's a lot. Like, dude, we transferred our CRM 2 years ago and it's like it's a lot. So
yeah. I figure. I mean, the earlier the better. I don't want to wait to do it, and I just don't feel like Yardbook is. I mean, I'm sure there's some ways to customize and do some things, but I just don't think it's the one for the long run. So I like to do it now. Um,
yeah.
and so that was another question I was going to ask you, like what you thought about timing wise on switching everybody over, getting all my information put into Copilot and figuring all that out, but then when to, update and notify the customers that we're changing, and I'm going to be like trying to add their card information over there. What do you think about that?
How many customers do you currently have?
Around 100.
Okay. And how many leads are in the database?
I mean, I haven't added them as leads. There's probably close to 170 to 200, somewhere in that range of like just people that I've added in.
Okay. that won't be bad. You could probably do that in like less than a week,
Yeah.
honestly. So as far as like the process, like what that looks like is what's nice about Copilot is you're going to be able to get a texting feature. They have a service in there that they can actually help transfer over your data because they do that all the time.
Yeah.
So I would probably like reach out to the Copilot team and just be like, hey, I've got 150 or so customers in the database, like switching those people over. They can help you out with that. It's really not that hard. They have videos in there that allow you to do that. But as far as like the actual transfer process, just know you're gonna probably, if you do it in the winter, which is when you should probably do it instead of when you're busy, you will lose. We lost about 30% of our customers.
Because y'all had you I know you run based on like card on file, so you were having to switch everybody over. I really haven't enforced that this year, just due to the fact that I was, on Yard Book when you take card, it allows for a tip, and having the tip element in there allowed for me to counteract any kind of like defaulted invoices.
Mhm.
Honestly, I made up for it in the tips. I had like maybe 10 people who didn't pay me this year, and I had plenty of tips coming. So I was like, I wasn't worried about it. I would like to move into that realm of professionalism where we take the credit card, but I'm wondering if that's going to be less of an issue if I'm getting their card info for the first time.
Yeah, actually, that would work out better. So, if you don't have all cards on file for your existing customers currently, they're honestly not really going to know if you transferred CRMs if they don't have a card on file.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll probably have a much better like retention rate. Yeah, I would definitely do that. Probably, I mean, you could do that like either before Christmas time or
Yeah.
maybe January. You
Yeah, and
know,
I'm thinking because the only thing that's going to change for most people is the number or the contact that's like they're getting automated notifications from. So I just sent out a message that says, "Hey, we switched over. This is the new system that we're using." I feel like that would be the only like friction there,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And when are you looking at doing that?
I mean, before the season starts, and that's what I was like kind of curious about. If you thought like once the season got going, there'd be less of a problem, or if that would just cause more issues if we did it once because if we did it once the season started coming and I got more customers during that time, it'd be harder. So now that I'm talking about out loud, I think it's just best to do it in the winter.
I would say the sooner the better because it's also going to be a new software for you. If you waited till like the last minute, let's just say mid-February to switch
Hmm.
over, like you're still figuring out how to like schedule mowing jobs and
Right.
projects and like learning the new system, right? So like
Yeah.
it might be better, honestly. I mean, next month's November, so obviously we got leaves falling here probably the next couple months, and maybe Christmas lights or not, whether you're doing that, not a big deal. But like maybe either like first week of December, it gets very very slow in December, January, and February down here. That might be a good time to take a week and do all that data entry transfer and
Okay.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
and then you'll have at least January and February, 2 months of like learning the system. And like if you have a question or don't know how to do something, you'll have
Yeah.
the time to reach out to the support versus like mid-spring rush or like just getting all the jobs on the schedule.
Okay, and when I do that, would you be like okay with me getting just on a call with you where we're just like, all right, I'm getting into it. Tell me what I should just right off the bat start doing and like systematizing in that database.
Yeah, so like obviously we have these coaching calls, so like we'll have a good solid 25-30 minutes or whatever to like deep dive in whatever like is the biggest pain point that you need fixed.
Hmm.
I'm here to help you grow your business, and so when you do that switch and you're just like, dude, I don't even know where to start, I'll be like, cool, okay, let's jump over to Yardbug. We need to pull Excel like an XSV file or CVS file or something like that. We need to pull the customers over. I can help you with that for sure. But I would also check with the Copilot team because I think they do that for free. So
Okay.
like maybe just have them do
Yeah.
the transfer. But like as far as setting up like the jobs and all that, yeah, I can definitely help you with that.
Yeah.
They do have it's called Copilot University. That would be like a better use of our time for the 25-minute would be like if you went through and like watched those videos first, because then that would give you context of like the terms that I'm using and stuff like that for you to understand more of it versus just like a blank book of like, hey, where do I even start?
Okay.
And it's free too, so
yeah, I'll do
tap
that.
into that.
I'll do that for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I could probably figure out most stuff. I just didn't know if there was anything, that I'm sure you have figured out that could be helpful.
Yeah, and what's cool, Jacob, is when that happens, I'll start asking you questions, and I'm like, okay, well, what's your customer acquisition cost? And you'll be like, I don't know how to do that, and then we'll be like, okay, well, are you tracking this? And then we'll go into the system and then we'll really build it out properly to make sure you're tracking the data.
Right. That's kind of where it ties back into the data. I'm excited to have a place to put all that stuff. And is that kind of what you're saying? There's good amount of build out for that, like that data input.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, in Copilot University, they do have that, and then that they're pretty good about that, teaching you like the basic stuff and getting you started right. Yeah.
Cool. All right. And then also, I mean, the other thing I was just trying to get my head wrapped around while I'm getting licensed for applications and treatments, I want to pick your brain and see how y'all do like pricing and like how you present packaging and payments, and like are you taking like per year? Are you trying to take most payments up front? Are you giving options for monthly payment or adding on to the weekly or bi-weekly services? What do y'all do for those packages?
Yeah, so us personally, I'm always a big believer on like getting the money as quick as possible. So that way I can go and multiply it, right? There's some people that like bill monthly and then like they wait to the end of the month to bill. Like, so I'm always like, hey, when we do the visit, we bill same day. We charge that same day, and then it's in our account 2 days later. And then as far as like the actual like treatment program goes, so I know you're inside the applicator course, which is great. You can, because you're down here in Fort Worth, literally just like follow that. Now, do bring it to Ewing or Site One and meet with a chemical specialist and just say, hey, I got this from a coach or a mentor of mine. Is there anything you would change on this or anything like, and just get, second advice on it. Cause this, the last thing you want to do is mess up lawns properly.
Right.
You just want to make sure it's good. But yeah, we do 8-round. I think True Green does 11 or 12. I think Gecko Green does like 9. It really just depends on what you want. Is your clientele mainly residential or commercial?
Mainly residential.
So you're going to want a higher frequency visits, because there will be customers that complain about 1 or 2 weeds off their back porch.
Right.
And so if you're only there 4 times a year, there's going to be way more weeds versus if you're there once a month, like you're smacking the weeds every month, right? Like, so yeah, our sweet spot is about 8 visits. It's about every 6 weeks. By that time, they're pretty much due for a treatment. And yeah, that's just kind of what we've rolled with.
Okay, yeah, because that's kind of what I was looking at, and I was curious. And I saw that 8-round, so I was watching that video. You were talking about that, and so are you presenting with like different levels or tiers? Are you giving options like a basic, and then like having a high point anchor price, and trying to get them to settle in the middle somewhere?
I'll be honest, I don't think we do a good job at this. So
yeah.
I don't think like don't just look at me and do what we're doing per se.
Right.
Just maybe test it and see what works better for you. We don't do a tiered thing, mainly because we really lean into military company and we are the quality standard here. And so if they only want 6 treatments or 5 treatments, like then you're probably not the customer for us. We want top tier lawns. But also one could argue that I'm leaving money on the table and I'm leaving jobs off the table
I'm
too.
thinking you could be more profitable on those lower end by raising the price on a 4 treatment package or a 5 treatment package, and incentivizing going with the higher ones.
And for sure. And it's a much better, easier sell too. So like when you're sending an estimate and they're like, hey, I want weed control. It's like, cool. You want the like $75 8-round, or do you want the $65 cheaper round, or do you want the $95 white glove service? If you get an HOA violation, we'll pay for the bill, because they're not going to get an HOA violation for weeds, right?
Yeah,
If
right.
you're there like 12 times a year, so that would help. And then from them, it's not just, from the customer's perspective, it's not just like yes or no. It's like, which option do you want, A, B, or C? And it's a much easier conversion for them. Look, building this kind of business can feel lonely. That's why we built a private school community that is based off of a ton of other home service business owners that are literally going down the same pathway as you. We are winning together. You get all the tools, resources, and direct access to us. Join the movement today. The link's in the description below.
Yeah. How are you deciding on prices? Are you presenting them based on just their maintenance rate? What do you do about that?
Great question. And we could go really deep and complex in this, but I'm gonna keep it very surface level, just for time perspective. The right way to do it is to figure out the labor costs, the chemical costs, how long the job takes you.
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it. And I've done that before. From a very quick snapshot, get your foot off the ground for the next 1 to 2 years, that you're probably not going to go that deep into all of the numbers. A very easy, good rule of thumb is whatever you're charging them to mow, just double that. So most of our lawns down here are $40 per cut. They're just small. So it's $79, $80 for the treatment. It's typically about double the cost of a mow.
Okay.
And then once because realistically, and I don't want to just like tuck that under the rug, but like really you need the data, because
the price of the material and the chemicals and then the labor time,
which you don't have yet. You don't know like how long a lawn treatment will take and stuff like that with your equipment and stuff. So like to start, just double the mow, and then after like 12 months of data, then we can get into the numbers and really make sure you're making good profit.
Yeah, maximize it, because obviously you're going to make good profit on double the mowing rate for a chemical application. It takes what, like y'all, maybe 5-10 minutes for y'all to treat a lawn, like, or how long does it take to really? Because y'all use like a real hose. How are y'all doing it now?
Our we do it all kinds of ways. So one of our location has just push spreader and a backpack, and then our other location has a hose on the back. So like it varies, but I'd say 20 minutes a lawn.
Yeah,
maybe.
because it's just one. You're doing just one application, like one liquid for most things, or is it because y'all on a granular and liquid application?
Our main location is hybrid, so we have a granular in the summer because it gets so hot down here in the summer. If you spray liquid fertilizer on the lawns and they don't water, it will fry their grass.
Yeah, so it's not diluting. Yeah.
So and it's just sitting there, and then it's 100 degrees in Texas, and then you don't want to do that. Thousands of dollars of damages. So then what we do in the summer is we use a slow release granular fertilizer to avoid that. Yeah. So when we go out and we spread, if it's a customer that doesn't care and doesn't water their lawn, and it doesn't rain for a month down here in the drought season, it's not going to burn their lawn, because the only way to activate that is through water. And so if there's no water, the granules just sit there until it gets watered. So now in the spring and fall, in the winter, we do pull hose at the main location, because it does bring the chemical costs down a lot versus like bag product. But all of our new locations that we're building out, so we're starting the 3rd location next spring, we're getting away with the tank. But that's a whole other discussion about like, if you plan on being in the business, I would say go the tank route.
Yeah.
Because it's more hands-on, there's more components, there's more mixing. If you want to be an absentee owner one day and step away from the business and collect cash flow every quarter, go the granular route. You will pay more money in product costs, but it's so much simpler.
Just the liability. Yeah, training. I get that. I guess if you ended up transitioning into a full treatment company, then you'd obviously spend more time training. I get that. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And then so you said for your payments, for your treatments y'all are doing based on we come out, we treat, you're paying for that treatment on that service date?
Yeah, the minute
You
the
have
crew marks the job complete, it charges their card.
Yeah. Do y'all ever take payments? Like, do you give offers to take payments up front, like for the whole year? Do y'all do that?
So, great question. And we're actually, so this is a little behind the scenes here. So 2 years ago, we did do prepayment, a lot of it for weed control, and it was great. Like we were able to collect like thousands of dollars at the beginning of the season, take that money, pour it into marketing, and grow. And then we were like, wait, there were customers that canceled mid-season, and now you got to give refunds. And then what round did they get, and what round didn't they get? And it opens up more admin nightmare. So we went away with it, and our life got easy. But now we're actually going back to it. We are going to the prepays because there is $1,000 today is worth so much more money, and I can multiply it versus 12 months from now.
Yep.
Like that, and then with the Alex Hormozy model that he just came out with $100 million leads or whatever money models, like if you can front load a lot of the cash, that gives you the money to go get more customers, and then it's just a cycle. So the quicker you can get cash, the better.
Been listening to him like all day, every day,
Yeah.
while I'm doing the work. So getting that narrative going in my head, just the attacking marketing and sales and presenting like a quality product. So he's got me thinking about that type of investing, taking upfront money, putting it into the marketing. All right, so your problem was the cancellations and then having to do refunds and dealing with all that. Are you doing any kind of contracts?
No.
Nothing, even with the fertilizer when you're taking upfront money. Okay, so you're saying it's just going to be worth it to deal with it if they cancel, and we have the money to pay them back for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't like contracts. I don't want to make any more friction or barrier for them to give me money.
Yeah,
like or to sign up. Like we as owners need to make it so easy for people to pay us, and that's why when you look at all these credit cards now, like before you'd have to swipe or insert, dude. Now it's just like put it in front of a screen and you're done. Like they're making it so easy for people to pay.
Yeah, that's kind of my goal is like making it so simple for somebody. It's hard because I know y'all have like the instant quote on your website, and it's just so hard because it's so nuanced with each line. It's all different, but getting eventually to a model where they can go on, make a payment, they got their maintenance set up would be incredible. Like just make it so easy.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else before we get done. I'm gonna be hitting door hangers really hard. I'm gonna buy as much as I can, invest as much as I can, and get, like you said, you told me before, like 3 or 4 guys to just go canvas for a few weeks, as long as I can afford it. How do y'all approach like tracking or like mapping routes and keeping track of where you've been, and then like collecting that data? Or do you use any data like from your maps to see like where was it successful, where are the best hit rates? Like, do you do any of that?
We do. So what we did this year is we had 2 different flyers because I wanted to test it.
Yeah.
When we looked at the map, there was one dividing road. It was Preston Road that ran north and south. One of the flyers we tested on the right side of the road. The other flyer we tested on the left side of the road. So that gave me the data between the two of like, hey, how many booked, right? From there, based on the 4 different people that are handing out flyers for you, what you would do is you would cut up that entire territory into 4 quadrants. So you've got your main road, and then you're going to cut it somewhere in the middle, and your first employee is going to do quadrant 1, quadrant 2, and then the second one's going to do quadrant 2 and then quadrant 3, right? And you don't want them to go in other territories. You want them to stay there because number one, if you're going to incentivize them based on the door hanger that came and booked, so you need to pull a report for the map of where they did. Now, every single day when they go out, you need the numbers. This is imperative because most people lack this. They just go do it and they're like, it doesn't work. You need the numbers. So at the end of the day, they need to send a picture of the streets that they walked. And so what they do is they just take a screenshot on their phone. Just go to Google Maps, take a screenshot, and they use a highlighter and highlight the houses or the street. And they send it to the GM, which is you currently, probably, or me, or whatever, whoever the team lead is. And then we need to know how many did they put out? How many door hangers did they put out? And then I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that
and
way,
and and the route that they did every day, every day. And then
yeah,
from there, after a week or two or three, they carve out a third of the section and they
yeah,
hit 4 or 5 neighborhoods, and then it's like, cool. Anytime now you're starting to get busy, so you're going to give them real jobs to go
Are
do.
you just like having a physical map printed out that you're using? Are you using a digital map online where you're keeping it as well, like, and you're crossing off and highlighting where they have been?
There's really no rhyme or reason. We've tried printing it, but honestly, the printing, it was okay. We did that in the beginning, but honestly, now everything is like we just do it digitally.
Yeah.
And as long as you're saving those pictures in the chat, like that employee knows what neighborhood he hit or didn't hit, and so it would be in his best interest to hit the other areas that they didn't do.
right.
Also, I try not to like switch them. Like that's going to be his quadrant. That's one's going to be
Yeah.
his,
Okay.
and not switch it unless somebody finishes their entire quadrant. You have a stud who just like puts out
Yeah.
thousands of them all the time. Then I'd be like, all right, you're probably going to pick up the slack for someone else. But then, yeah, at that point you just kind of figure out a new boundary.
Yeah.
What's your goal in terms of like area, like canvas? Like how far are you trying to go? Are you like just as much as you can go in those directions? Like what are you doing with that?
Basically, if you dropped a pin on your shop area of where they're parking the trucks, I would focus on the neighborhood that is literally right outside of that, right? Like, because that's going to be the least amount of drive time, the least amount of waste, the most efficient. If you can get 5 customers in, like, they already see your trucks, they're more likely to book anyway because they see you driving in and out all the time anyway. So I would start there and then work your way out with an asterisk in there somewhere. New build communities are better. Keep that in mind too. So if you're in a quadrant 4 and you're already kind of hitting the closer neighborhoods, but there's a brand new one that just popped up out here, hey, let's maybe let's start over there first, because those are going to be ones that are more likely to sign up as well.
Yeah, we got our hotspots that are not far, but not right where I am. It's like a mile, 2 miles out. So
in all of this, Jacob, is like do test review. I'd be like, hey, on Monday and Tuesday this week, they did the close area. Cool. Let's check our admin. How many calls did we get? How many door hangers called? 1, 0. All right. Well, how many did we put out? 1,000. We put 1,000 out and we only got 1 customer. That's all right. How about we test the new build community? Okay, boom. He goes over the new build community. He puts 1,000 out and he gets 3 that book. I'd be like, dude, you're going back to the new communities. Let's keep that going. Yeah. And then, just because if they're incentivized off of how many people sign up, like they should be thinking this way. And that's why I love the model is like, just give them $30 a sign up at $18 a base pay. And it's like, dude, you get 1 or 2 or 3 signups in a day. Like you could make $25-30 an hour putting out door hangers. Like, yeah, especially when the demand is the highest, like they're going to convert. So,
yep. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you, Will. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Have a great day.
Yeah. All right, you too. And,
really good questions.
Yeah, I'll get back to you soon.
All right, sounds good, man.
You have a good one.